Good afternoon, folks, on this frosty and cold afternoon in Lancashire. Just going to do a quick review today for the box set from Warlord Games. It's Cavalry of the Sun King. It's 30 figures, 28mm scale, all in plastic. These were previously done by War Games Factory and they're now done by Warlord Games. It's quite a large box, you can see there. Some nice artwork on the front. And then on the back we have a painted up unit there, Cuirassiers, and a couple of units there. Zoom in. There you go. All the different uniforms you can do. I say it's 12 figures, so it's a decent sized unit. I think I got these for about, not sure if they were £14 I paid for them, which obviously is good value. And as with all the box sets, you get a bit of fluff about the Cavalry of the Sun King and about the period, and a couple of painted examples. I think they might be the same ones off the cover of the box. And then again, as with the box sets that you normally get, you get some lovely flag sheets. So there's no need to go out and buy extra flags. There's quite a few on here that you can use. Some nice ones. Some lovely colours. So you don't need to do an extra purchase for flags. And then the centre pages are basically just the contents of the sprues, all numbered and then listed, as you can see, so you know. So let's have a look at the sprues. With these box sets you do get the bases. As you've probably seen in my previous videos, the basing has changed recently. It used to get 12 of these single bases, and now you get get 4 of those, and then you get the multi bases, which I understand because most people will be basing, I presume, on multi bases for convenience of movement, and obviously rules like black powder make it easier rather than having them single based. So I'll be purchasing some extra bases for my figures. So you get 1 sprue of bases for 12 figures. And just what's these? You get 3 sprues of the actual horses, and so you can see there they fit together, so they're halves of the bodies. You can mix and match. It's good to give you a variety of poses. So you can see there that one there on the right hand side is quite a static pose, but you could mix it with or basically any of the other ones to give it a bit more of a maybe about to trot or at least walking along. So you don't have to do them all static or anything. I mean, there is options if you want to do some of them static. See there that pose there. Put them two together, and then obviously that horse is just going to be standing there. On each sprue, which is 3 sprues, you get three sets of horse bodies, 4 heads. Again, the heads do have a bit of variety on them because you can mix and match. I think there's 3 different poses for the heads. See, those 2 are different there, and then you've got a different one. Well, those 2 are the same. It gives you 3 in total, and then you can see there you've got the saddle cloths which are going on the back, and a couple of different tails as well. So that's the 12 bodies, and then here we have 4 sprues of the actual troopers themselves. Now you'll see some of these look very similar to the infantry ones, so you could mix and match. There's no reason why you can't mix and match if you have some leftovers from an infantry box. You can certainly mix and match with the boxed cavalry set, as I have, to give you some extra poses. You've got some drawn pistols there. You can see there's 3 of those, and then you've got obviously some will be holding swords, and some extra bits you've again, which is great for if you're if you wanted to customize your figures a little bit, or you want a bit of difference, whether you wanted to do some dismounted dragoons or just as extra bits really. You've got there the rifles with the, or carbines I should say, with these slings, and then you got some without the slings, so some nice extras. Now there's 4 sprues of these, so you can see straight away how many different bodies there are. There's the one with the breastplate, or rear and front breastplates, which you do for the slightly heavier cavalry, I suppose. And then you can see there you've got one which is basically just the jacket with the belt going across the shoulders. So lots of different options. You can see there the different heads. So you've got the armoured ones for the cuirassiers, and then you've got and again you can mix with the infantry heads if you wanted to. And you can see there you've got some heads look very similar to the ones I used for the Scots Fusiliers. So there's no reason again why you couldn't even use these for your infantry as well, that's the advantage of these sprues, is that you can mix the infantry set with the cavalry set. So you can, if you wanted a full unit of 12, let's say 12 cavalry with bear skins, there's no reason why you couldn't use the ones from the infantry set to do that. Or if you wanted to, if you didn't have enough Fusiliers heads, on the infantry set that you got, then obviously you've got some extra ones on here that you can use. So now these figures do get a bit of a bad review from people because they don't like. I mean, a lot of people don't like the infantry to start off with, but the cavalry, a lot of people definitely don't like them, and I can see their point. One of the main bugbears is as I showed you, the bases for the cavalry, the actual cavalry feet. Just make sure that. You can see there, they're glued directly onto the base. Now that's fine for that standing horse there, but some of the horses have only 1 or 2 points of contact on the base, which can obviously be quite difficult, whether you pin it or you just rely on some extra glue to hold it in place. So that is a bugbear for some people, and as with this range of figures, a lot of people don't like the lack of facial expressions. They are quite simple, stern faces, all very similar sort of thing, but it doesn't really bother me, because for 13, 14 pounds, I can't remember exactly what I paid for. I think it was about £14 for these. That's pretty cheap for 12 cavalry figures. I got mine from Wayland Games, which give you quite a big discount when you buy from them, rather than buying directly from the supplier. So what I'll do, I'll just show you. I've not based mine up yet, but I have painted them, and they just need some highlighting doing on them. So I'll just show you what a box set would look like. Zoom in on that. Again, I apologise for the fact that they're not based. So that's what you get. My units, I'll be adding 3 extra figures, because mine are going to be 12 normal ranks and 3 officers. But in the box set, you get 12 figures. I was going to go with Metal Command for these, like I did with the infantry, but to be honest, I made a couple of the officers up, and obviously the ensign, and I quite liked them. So I thought, well, why waste extra money on metal figures if I have no problem with these? It just means I have to buy an extra box set to obviously do the extra 3 command figures, but then they'll do for other units as well. So if we can show you what how they look. It's going to zoom in. There we go. Now my painting is very basic. Like I've said before, it's just block painting and a dip, and the odd highlight. Well, these are going to be just my normal troops. They're not officers. so that I'm not looking at, you know, spending lots of time painting these figures up. Does not want to zoom in this one for some reason. No, it's not going to have it. Okay, anyway, so that's what you get in a box set. You can see there that I've got some different coloured stands there, which I purchased because I prefer the single stands. They paint up okay. Some people don't like them. I don't mind them because it's about getting, for me, it's about getting figures on the table and not paying a lot of money for them. Because I mean, I don't know how much 12 metal figures would have cost me, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be £14. So quite happy with them, and I will definitely be using them for the rest of my units. You can see the officer there, which I didn't mind. Like I said, they're not the best figures, but they do the job. So yeah, so I'll definitely be using them for my for the bulk of my cavalry, as I do with the infantry. And if you want a cheap way of building up your forces, then these type of figures are definitely the way to go. I haven't painted them. Obviously, I'm doing imagination, so I haven't painted them up as any particular unit, and I'm not even sure what that standard is or what particular unit it's from. I've just mixed them as I see, sort of thing. So I'll get them based up, and hopefully they'll be seeing the battlefield pretty soon. So anyway, thanks a lot.